Hey everybody, this is SoundWave. In this video we're going to be talking about the Mobiglas. We'll go over the different parts of it, like how to communicate or hail other players, which is something that's going to happen in the future, requesting landing permissions at stations, changing your clothes, changing weapons and gear, ship configurations, the star map, Cryastro service orders, missions, and service beacons. So let's get started. So here we are at Port Olazar, and we're going to go ahead and pull up the Mobiglas. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to hit F1. And on this first screen, you can see where your name is, and as well as your community moniker, your current balance, your crime stat rating, although it doesn't actually show anything there, so I'm not entirely sure if they're ever going to fix that. You're also going to see your heart rate just like you do in the bottom left corner of your screen. Usually when you're wearing like a helmet, you'll have on the right hand side on the top half is your external atmosphere, so what the composition of the air and the pressure is in the environment that you're in, which can change from time to time. It can also change if you go into different sections of ships. And then finally the suit status, which is going to show you all sorts of different things about your suit's capability, especially the oxygen. That's pretty much all we're really worried about at this point, and also your oxygen time remaining. At the bottom of the screen, you're going to see several little options down here, and you're going to have the comm link, you're going to have the vehicle loadout manager, the equipment manager, star map, journal, the LiveWorks AR, Cryastro services, and contracts manager. So the first part is the comm link. This is where you currently have chat, where you can talk with other people. You can choose the different kinds of chat. It's not implemented right now. It's something that they're going to be doing in the near future. I'm not sure if it's going to change in 3.3 or 3.4 or beyond. But the idea is that you can have local chat, your group chat, so like if you teamed up with some random person, or if you are in a party, there's also going to be the ability to switch between organizations. So if you belong to one or more organizations, you can talk specifically with them. And also, I think further in the future, it will be directly linked to the website. So even if someone is not actually in game, you should have the ability in the future to actually be able to talk with people who are in the game as if they were in the game, as far as the organization chat is concerned. On the left hand side, you're going to see all of the people that you're friends with. So if you have any contacts here, you're going to see them there. You're also going to see people that are near you. Eventually what's going to happen is you're also going to have this global chat to be able to talk to everybody, because they're going to have VoIP inside the game itself. And you also have Port Olazar landing services. This will change depending on any station that you go to. So if you go to Levski, it's going to have, say, Levski landing control. If you go to Grimhex, it's going to be Green Imperial something. Each place is going to have a different name. And if you're in a ship and you go near there, you're going to have the ability to click on the little button and talk with them. You'll notice that the players are not lit up. Even if these people were online, we still couldn't contact them right now. That's going to be something that's in the future. But when you request landing services, if you watched one of those videos that had that in there, to request a landing pad, you actually have to click on this and wait for it to go through its little animation. And then once it's finished with that, it will give you a landing pad that is compatible with your ship, and you're going to see a little circle pointing down, little icon of the ones that are compatible with your ship. If you fly closer to them, you will see that the paths that are not compatible with your ship, or where you shouldn't land, should show up with red augmented reality kind of rectangles around them, and the one that you should land at is green. So the next section that you have is the vehicle loadout manager. This is where you can adjust some of the things that are on your ship. So in this case, we will take this and we will go to the Avenger Stalker. And you can see that we can actually see the ship. We can move it around. It'll give you different information about your ship right now. I'm not sure if you can actually change anything. It's supposed to be very similar to how your personal manager is supposed to work, where you can equip and unequip things. You're going to have to start buying the components at some time in the future if you want to upgrade your ship. That's not something that's totally in yet. I mean, it is, but not completely. And you'll be able to actually put in like different kinds of weapons and switch them around, everything like that. I think it's probably going to be better right now, or at least in the next patch anyway, if you go to the actual shop for it, which is Dumper's Depot. And there's probably likely going to be more different kinds of stores like that, but right now there's Dumper's Depot. And I think the best thing is to go in there because you'll have a very similar layout like this, but you'll be able to actually buy equipment from there and attach it to one of your ships. So for right now, I would think going over to one of those kiosks is probably going to be the better bet. So we're going to go to Equipment Manager, and this is where you manage yourself. Now you notice that I'm not wearing a helmet, and that is okay because of where I am right now. I'm inside the station. So it has oxygen, so we're good. You'll have different clothing, which is just regular clothing, like street clothing if you think about that, something that's not part of a suit. That's going to be under this section, so if you have like a regular hat, if you have gloves, shirt, jacket, shoes, stuff like that, they'll all show up here when you buy them. And you can just click on them and you can equip or unequip them. Now, let's go ahead and unequip that. The reason why I have this off is just because if I was wearing a helmet, a lot of these things at the bottom would be kind of behind where the helmet shows up, so you wouldn't be able to see all these icons. So that's the only reason why I have that off. Undersuit is going to be where the exposed parts of your armor are going to show through, so you can change the undersuit because they have different kinds of colors and different kinds of styles. So for instance, if I go with this one, you can see it's a lot more green. If I go to this one, it has the gold accents. This one, it's purple, and then I think the other one is red. Yeah. So we're going to keep this one. The weapons. You'll have options for your primary, your secondary, your sidearm, and then you can get different spare magazines for each one of them, and you can refill these at the different stores that sell weapons and ammunition. Armor is the armor set that you are currently on. This one is, let's go ahead and get the Dust Up helmet, which is the one that I usually wear. That's what that looks like. So we're going to unequip that. I'm just going to go ahead and save the changes. But you can choose the different kinds. And you'll see that it highlights on the side the different ones that you're selecting. So it gives it a little bit of a highlight so you know what you're talking about. These are going to be all of your auxiliary things. You have med pens, which are basically kind of a stopgap for right now. Eventually they want to have full medical gameplay where you have like hospitals and ambulances and things like that, ships that are specifically set up for that kind of stuff and to fix people or do surgery. For right now, a stopgap is the med pen, so it's a cure-all pen. In the future, it's going to be a little less OP, overpowered. So it's going to give you like a small little thing to stop like minor bleeding or something like that, but you'll still need to have medical intervention in the future. Oxygen pens, or an oxypen, is basically if your suit is running out of oxygen, you can use one of these pens and somehow refills part of your suit's oxygen level. And of course you have grenades, which are, you know, always important. The next section is something that we already went over in the ship controls, which is the star map that shows you all of the things in the solar system as well as beyond the solar system once they had everything. And you can kind of see the preview of where ArcCorp and Hurston are on this map already. Those would be coming in 3.3 and 3.4 respectively. This little middle button, because I haven't discussed it, is going to take you back to this main screen. Because if you go into the star map, you'll notice that you don't exactly have any options anymore. So if you go back here, you can get back to this. The next thing is the journal. Anything that you kind of encounter as part of your little journey in the universe is going to show up here. Think of it like email. The LiveWorks AR, I have no earthly idea what it is. I think it has to deal with your ship stuff, but I think that's pretty much been taken over by the vehicle loadout manager. So this might be going away or might be doing something different in the future, not entirely sure. This little wrench thing is going to be Cryastro, and there currently is only one place for this, and I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be doing in the future in the next updates, because they want to have different kinds of brands, so they may rename this to just like ship services or something. But basically this is where you fix, refuel, and rearm your ship. So if you think of it kind of like full service gas station for spaceships, that's basically what this is. And what you do is when you land on one of the pads at Cryastro, and you do it just like you do at any other station, you'll have it in the comm links at the bottom or at the top, depending on if they switch the order. You'll have something that says Cryastro services, and you'll be able to hail them, and they'll give you a landing pad. And then once you're on the pad, you basically just click on one of these four things, or all of the four, whatever configuration you need. And once you have everything all set up, you click on confirm, and little tiny drone robot things will come and fix and refuel and give you more pew pew stuff. The last section is going to be the contract manager. This is something that is kind of important at this point, because they've already introduced two different things that make this way better. And we'll go more into this in the missions video that's going to come out later. But you have general and personal. Each one will have different categories of things on the left-hand side, and will have different missions depending on the time of day and how many people have been doing the missions and everything. These will switch out all the time. If you have chosen one of these, so over here on the right-hand side, you have accept, offer, and reject. If you accept the offer, any of your accepted missions will show up here. You can do more than one at the same time, but it gets a little confusing with your markers and where you need to go and time frames and stuff. They do expire sometimes, not all the time, so just be aware that you could technically do more than one, but it's going to get real sticky. History is all of the ones that you've rejected or completed, so you probably will never go into here. Beacons. Service beacons are player contracts, which means that you can contract someone else to do something for you. So we'll go over here to create beacon, and right now we only have two different types. We have combat assistance, I can't English today, and personal transport. Combat assistance basically allows you to ask for someone else to come out and help you, and this is paid per hour, I think, or per minute. And what they will do is they will come out with a pew pew ship and help you take care of whatever pew pew problem you have. And you can choose a minimum rep level. 5-star is really good people, 3-star is average, and 1-star is usually pretty bad person. Right now you need to choose any rep level because the rep level is a little bit broken. And the fact that nobody has a contract rating, really. So in the future, this will become important, but for right now, just use any rep level. and then enter an amount you want to pay for it. And that's entirely up to you, but just remember that if you set it to like 1 credit or something like that, you're going to get no one helping you. So the other one is personal transport. If you select this, you can choose the destination that you want to go to from the list, and this will expand over time. You're probably not going to know where any of these things are, but you will in the future. Certain things are actually on here, I believe. If I can find it. Or maybe they took it away. Yep, they got rid of it. The drug lab that's on Yela actually used to be on this list, so you could actually go to it. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to stumble across it. And some people have put up videos on how to get there, and it's pretty interesting to go and visit, but it looks like they took that off the list because that was a good way to find it. But anyway, you choose where you want to go from this list. Again, the rep level, right now, just choose any. And then you enter the amount you want to pay for it, and basically it is Spoober, Space Uber. And someone in the universe will, or everybody in the server will get a little notification that you want to have, you want to get a ride from point A to whatever you choose for your destination, point B, and they will come and pick you up and take you over there, and as soon as they drop you off, they get money, and you get it deducted from your thing, and you get to choose whether or not they were good or bad on that. And you can also cancel them, because you'll have a list here if you already have some that are out, and when you click on it on the bottom right hand side, you'll get a cancel button, so you can cancel it at any time. So if you change your mind, or like let's say if there's a glitch and you thought that you couldn't get out of it with your ship, you can always cancel it and everything would be good. So that's about it. So we will go into things like missions in the future a little bit more in detail and show you a couple of how to actually complete them and what they entail, so you kind of get an idea of what you're supposed to do and you're not completely clueless about how missions work. But again, that'll be in a future video. Hope you like this video. Hope you support this series, and I'll see you in the next video.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them scream?